Hello, Dr. Coffey. How are you?
I am well. It's good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's wonderful, Dr. Coffey. And thank you one more time for giving me this opportunity to interview you. So, friends, we have Dr. Coffey here. And let me tell a little more about her so that you will also become aware. And of course, we'll know more about her from her own words. Yet, here is Dr. Coffey for us. She specializes in sport and clinical psychology. She's from native of Waxhaw, North Carolina, and a successful business owner who continues to improve the world around her with her work and dedication. She has spent many years of education in education and business preparation, and she is the founder of D Coffee Foundation for Athletics and Education. And friends, there's lot and lot. She has worked as the team psychologist for the Union County Extreme AAU basketball team, Hillside High School basketball team, and Hillside High School football team. Um, she is also having a doctoral degree with honors. Oh my God, like, the list goes on and on and on. Yet, let me stop here. And because, she is a certified mental game coach, this licensed, uh, psychological associate. This is, oh my God, like Dr. Coffee. So I'm going to pause about your credentials and just ask you straight away, how did you get into sports psychology, Dr. Coffee?
That's always an interesting question, how I got into sports psychology, because I actually started out in clinical psychology.
Yes.
When I left high school and went to college, I majored in clinical psychology, and I got my degree, and I worked as a psychologist for a very long time, over 2 decades, over 25 years, before I actually decided to do sports psychology. So I've always been athletic, and I've always participated in sports, and my family, my brothers, my cousin, we're all in sports. So after doing clinical psychology for so long, I just wanted to do something different, but I didn't want to leave psychology. So that's how I came about sports psychology. It gave me the opportunity to combine both of them.
Wow, amazing. So that was like in your blood.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, okay, okay. So I'm curious to know more about your D Coffee Foundation for Athletics and Education. Could you please tell more about it, Dr.
Oh,
Coffee?
yes, the D Coffey Foundation for Athletics and Education. That's my passion project. It's an organization, it's a nonprofit organization that help underserved athletes get an opportunity to go to college. What we found in our research is a lot of people give out scholarships to athletes, but no one give them scholarships or no one sponsor them in the showcase games. And in order for an athlete to be seen to get the scholarships, they must go to these showcase games. So the population that's underserved and that's having financial challenges, they can't afford to put these kids in these showcase games. So that's what our foundation would do. We would sponsor them 100% in these showcase games. And once they come into the foundation, it's not just about hoops. It's not just about basketball. It's about developing them from a holistic perspective. We teach them entrepreneurship skills. We teach them about the stock market. We teach them how to eat well. We teach them how to change their side hustle into a business if they want to. So literally anything that they would need. And we also have wraparound services and accountability coaches. And the accountability coach, they're responsible to make sure that their personal needs are taken care of. Because what we found out, if they're going to perform well, it is a holistic approach. They need to make sure that, they don't have a toothache. And if they do have a toothache, can they get to the dentist and can they pay for it? So our foundation, we work with them from a holistic perspective and trying to help them become better citizens and a better version of themselves.
God. Dr. Coffee, you amaze me. You yourself are into sports, then you specialize in clinical psychology. and then you're also into business. Then you come with this D Coffee Foundation for Athletics and Education, where you are helping people holistically, not just one aspect. Awesome, awesome. So here is my next question. You are author as well. Like, I did you spare anything else, Dr. Coffee? Now you are an author as well. So please tell more about your book, Building Confidence.
Yes, I love to stay busy and I love to just find different ways to help people
Help.
and to have them continue to grow. I also have a private practice, Living Well in Sport and Life, and I see clients individually there. But what I realized here again after a while, everyone can't afford to do one-on-one training with me. And then some people that were like out of state or in another country, they can't see me in person one-on-one. So that's kind of how the book came about. So the book, Focus Like a Champion, it gives you action steps and it gives you information and equip you with knowledge and tools to help you have a zone-like focus so you can really perform well on the court. And then building confidence, one thing that I've realized, if people have high confidence, if they really believe in their ability and skills, they perform well. So helping them build their confidence, that's what the second book is all about. And then we have the group that like to listen to things. They do better audio. So I have an audio is mindfulness and guided imagery. So it's helping them with the foundation. It's helping them get a clear vision of what they want to do and following with them and giving them the steps in the audio to help them keep that vision and set effective goals so they can reach it.
Wow. So, Siddhi, titles also Building Confidence, Focus Like a Champion, Mindfulness and Guided Imagery. I think not only in sports, every person would also get benefited, I guess.
Yes, yes.
And how is mindset important in the game,
Yeah.
Dr. Coffey?
Mindset is important because it gives the player the opportunity to do what they're going to do in the moment. If a person is distracted by something that happened at home before the game, or they're distracted by a fight with a girlfriend, boyfriend, spouse, or anything like that, it interferes with their focus, and it also interferes with what they do on the court or in their playing arena. So if you have a strong mental game, if you have a good mindset, you're able to perform well when you get into your playing arena. So it doesn't start just when you get in the playing arena, it starts before then. Then you want to work on things so you can strengthen your mindset. You want to work on things so you can have a very good mental game just as much as your physical game.
Wow. And you build this unique method called mental game coaching to help athletes to perform well in their sports. So could you please tell more about this mental game coaching?
Yes, so there's actually 15 mental skills that I teach athletes. And the way I used to do it, and I still do it now, but I have a combination of things. In the way the program started, it stemmed from here again, me working with clients one-on-one. So when I work with clients one-on-one, I do an assessment. In the assessment, it would identify the specific skills that they need to do. Like I say, there's about 15 of them. So everybody don't need all 15. So when I do this individualized plan with the athlete, it tells me specifically what they need to work on. And that's what I work on with them individually until they're successful. However, when I'm working with a group of people, when I'm working with someone overseas or out of state, I needed a different method. Yes. So what I did, I picked 3 of those 15 mental skills that if anyone do it consistently, the way I have it laid out, they would be successful. Wow. So the first one is imagery, the next one is goal setting, and then the third one is pregame routine. So no matter where you are in your mental game or no matter where you are in your mindset, if you can master those 3 skills, then you would be successful.
Wow. See, the confidence level and the authenticity are coming like just follow it. That's what important is, Dr. Coffey, because people think that was my next question about like why is still only physical training being given important and mental training is being ignored. Dr. Coffey, could you please
Yes,
elaborate?
it's slow. Mental skills training and mental performance training is slowly but surely coming into the athletic arena.
And
Where
thanks
we're
to
seeing it,
professionals like you.
yes, yes, yes. And where we're seeing it more is on the professional level. So what I want to do is to teach athletes on the amateur level, teach them now the mental skills, teach them now how to focus, how to build their confidence so they can be better when they go to the next level and they won't have to start learning those things. But the professional people, the elite athletes, they have already embraced the mental game coaching.
Wow. Dr. Coffey, could you please give some tips to the athletes for peak performance?
I think the tips are the three that I have named earlier. Yes, imagery, mindfulness and imagery, setting realistic goals. Now, sometimes you set goals that are just so unrealistic. Don't do that. Set realistic goals. And what you want to do is to get that big goal, then break it down into small goals. And then you want to have these little wins along the way and just know that it's going to be a process. And then once you have that done, get you a good pregame routine, because the pregame routine, it sets you up for success before the game starts.
Wow. And Dr. Coffey, when an athlete is in front of you for coaching, or like it's not just about game. How does an athlete balance oneself with personal issues and professional issues? Because they do pop, intermix, and impact. Yes.
That's a very good question. It's a good question because it takes us into a different area that we don't talk about with athletes, and that's
Yes.
time management. In order for the athletes to be successful, they must be able to manage their time. Athletes have this extra put on them. They practice more than an hour a day. The average person, if we want to, stay in shape or just be healthy, we're going to practice or work out 1 or 2 hours a day. An athlete, their workout schedule and then their performance schedule, we're talking hours. And for each sport it's different, but it's more than 1 or 2 hours. So it's imperative that they can manage their time, because they still have to do their homework. And then once they get on the college level, some of them may have a part-time job or work
Yes.
study. So they still have to manage these things, because although they are in college and they may have a scholarship, they may have other expenses. And then in high school, they may not have these expenses, but they still have a full caseload that they have to study with. So the way that they can manage the two is just being very well with managing their time and putting a schedule in place and having a routine in place that they stick to so they can get everything done. Because if they don't have it written down in a schedule, it's easy to miss things. It's easy to be late for practice, late for class. It's just easy to not get things done if you don't manage your time very well.
Okay. And this reminds me of one of the interactions I had with one of the cricket coaches. And you know how craze is there for cricket in India, Dr. Coffey. So once I was interacting with a cricket coach, I asked him, like, what all do you do to keep your students mentally fit? Then the coach was like, okay, they run, they work out in the gym, and they eat well. That's it. Like, wait. What about mental fitness? What about their emotional issues? No, that's okay. When they run, when they feed themselves. Again, he was repeating about the physical routine that it is, of course, no doubt. Still, Dr. Coffey, my question is, even the coaches are not realizing or not aware. Of course, it is expanding a little more. Thanks again for the professionals like you. What do you think? Even coaches are missing on this point of mental training.
If we can get the AD in place first, because the AD is on top and then it trickles down to the coaches. So if the ADs can get involved and help the coaches understand how it would add value to the department, I think the coaches will embrace it more. I think the biggest problem is just not really understanding how it can enhance their performance and elevate their game. Because if the coaches knew that, of course they would embrace it. But it's like anything that's new. If it's new and you don't know about it, you're not going to utilize it. If it's new and you don't know about it, then you just don't know about it. And sometimes you just don't know what you don't know. So I think just getting the word out and educating people, and then if the AD kind of allow coaches extra time to understand this and learn this, that would be helpful, because the coaches' plates are full. And here again, kind of going back to that time management, if you add something else to the coach plates, they're going to resist it if they don't have time to do it. So if the AD or the person in charge, if they can kind of find some time in their schedule that they can kind of read up on this, or they can present them with information, or they can have workshops or watch videos, listen to audios, I think that would help the coaches embrace it anymore, because all coaches want to win. And that's what the mental game will help you do. It will help you win more games.
Oh, and Dr. Coffey, usually how long do you work with an athlete on an average? The reason for asking is sometimes like, okay, for the physical workout, it's daily routine, and where it comes to mental training, they want quick results. I want to get out of my anger issue, or I want to develop focus. Just give me some quick techniques. So, what is your answer for this?
Excellent question. And it's probably the hardest question you've asked me all night. Because it just depends. It depends on the individual, and it depends on the issue. And then some issues are easier than others, and then some people are more motivated than others. So if I have an athlete who have an issue that's not very hard or not very deep, and they're motivated and they're following instructions and they're following up and keeping that session, we could do a lot of work in 30 days. That's a long time. But if I have someone that, let's say, they're having some anxiety issues, that's going to take a little longer, because first we have to figure out where the anxiety is coming from. And most of the time, the athlete doesn't know where the anxiety is coming from, because what they see is the symptom of the anxiety, not the root cause. So when I'm working with them, I'm trying to figure out the root cause so we can deal with that, so it would not keep reoccurring. So it just really depends on the issue and the athlete, how long it would take for them to be successful with mental skills training.
Yes, I just wanted to bring this, whoever is watching, it's not a quick fix, friends.
Right.
You're so authentically you have answered, Dr. Coffey, because we get to know like just one session. There are people like who would say just one session, your anxiety is fixed. Just one or two sessions, you will be able to perform well, and this, and no false promises. Thank you for acknowledging that certain issues do take time, and one has to give time to get over such issues as well. And
That's right.
you also mentioned in one of the questions as like they also have to do certain homework. So how much time do you engage your athletes on a daily basis? Like it could be guided imagery or anything. Like how much time do you suggest these athletes to spend for mental training?
Yeah. And that's another one of those things that depend on the issue and the athlete. If it's something that's going to require more time, it require more time to deal with, and I don't have a lot of time because they're getting ready for a major game, I may see them 2-3 times a week, and then I would do observations. But if it's something that they discover that they want to improve on, and they realize, okay, if I improve on this skill, I will be better, but they're still doing okay, they're still functioning, I may see that person once a week. So here again, that's another one of those things that just kind of depend on what's going on, the timeline that we're working with, because some coaches, they want to get them to a certain point by a certain game. So I take those things into consideration as well.
Awesome. Dr. Coffey, before this session, you as a coach are available. After the game, you are available. And there is one more challenge. When the person is in the field playing the game, you're not there. And that's where they ask, like, tell me some techniques so that I can manage my emotions. Tell me some techniques so that I can focus on my mindset, because that is also very important, or more important to them to perform well. So, when people have emotional issues or anger management, they get easily getting low and all that. Do you also help them how they can manage their mindset in the game as well, Dr. Gopi?
Yes, if it's something that we're working on and we haven't worked totally through it, or if it's someone that I've never worked with, but they need some issues, my kind of go-to safe thing is deep breathing. If
Okay.
you can control your breath and use it to your advantage, it can help you while you're in game time situation. It can help decrease anxiety. It can help calm you down from frustration. It can help you maintain composure. So that's kind of my go-to, my kind of generic go-to, because one thing won't fit all, but if you
Yes.
do deep breathing properly, everyone can get some benefit from it.
Guys, you got the secret revealed of Dr. Coffee.
It's out.
Yes, it's out. It's no more secrets of regulating the breathing. Yes,
Yeah.
that's a beautiful. And self-talk also matters, right, Dr. Coffee? Because oh, we are losing the game, and like Bruce Lee says, you are defeated only here until you accept the defeat here. So
Yes.
the self-talk, oh, we are losing the game, and this and this and this. So could you please give some tips about how they can manage their self-talk in the game, after the game, before the game?
Yes, managing the chatter in your head, that's a
Yes.
challenge, but it can be less of a challenge if you know it's a challenge. What
Okay.
happens is we have about 60,000 thoughts going through our head all the time. And 90 something are negative, 85% are repetitive. So we have these automatic negative thoughts. So what we want to do, we want to equip ourselves with positive self-talk, with positive mantra, with positive affirmation, because we know the negative thoughts are coming. So the goal is to counter those thoughts as quickly as you possibly can, so they will not simmer into your brain and cause you to have a poor performance. So if you're losing, you already know if you're losing, you're not going to be happy. So just try to figure out some way to not keep saying, oh, we're going to lose. He messed up, she
Yeah.
messed up. Yeah, they did. That happened, but get past that. Still find a way to get that positive energy going. Say, okay, we got this. We're going to come back. We can do this. Because the chances are, if you're losing and you just hanging on to the negativity, it just makes it worse. It makes you feel bad. But if you can if you're not on the playing arena and you can kind of cheer the player on, if he still happen to lose, it really doesn't feel as bad because you gave it 100% until the
Yes.
end. So for positive self-talk, just know you have automatic negative thoughts. They're gonna come. So if you know that, prepare yourself. So if they're come, you have something to say that's going to counter that. Doing affirmations, I love those, or having mantra, I love those. Just always having something that you have in your mental toolbox, that's what I call it, that
Yes.
you can work with and use when the time comes.
Guys, one more secret revealed by Dr. Kofi. Affirmations and mantra. And I love this statement, Dr. Kofi, where you said openly, negative automatic thoughts do come.
Mhm.
Because you are not giving a false hope that they won't come. You said there are 60,000 thoughts, and more than almost like 90% you said, or
Mhm.
negative, and 85%, 90%, they are repetitive as well, and they are going to come. There
Yes.
is mental
Yes.
chatter. So like, you are not giving a false hope. No, no, you will not have any thoughts, you'll not have any chatter. The truth is they are going to come. And
Right.
that's where affirmations and the mantra plays role. Wow.
Yeah.
Dr. Coffey's secrets are getting revealed one after another.
I know you're getting all of my secrets, but it's
Yes.
okay. Yay.
Yeah. And Dr. Coffey, do you work online as well? Well, let's say due to this, not only due to pandemic, like people from different parts of the world might be watching this interview. So just curious to know, like, do you work only in a physical setup in a proper clinic environment, or people from different parts of the world can also consult you through online?
Yes, I do have a virtual program, and the virtual program we can do one-on-one or we can do it for group. And I'm actually getting ready to start a group training program that should be coming up probably sometime at the end of the year. I'm in the planning phase with that, but until that's open for a group, I'm doing individual virtual training with people out of state and overseas.
Wow. See, guys, like now Dr. Coffee is not only restricted to one specific area, so global always works.
Yes.
Awesome. And any more plans to increase the list of your books apart from building confidence for like a champion? Of course, because you keep working and you know what these athletes are going through. So any plans to come up with any other books, Dr. Gope, in future?
Yes, actually, I do have a book in the makings, and it should be released next month if things go according
Amazing.
to plan. And this
Secret.
book, yeah, this book would be specific for basketball players. So I'm getting ready to start another series, and this is the first book in that series for basketball players first. But the goal is to specialize the books for many different sports.
Many
So the
different
first one will be
sports.
coming out
Yes.
in November. Woo!
Yes, yes. Because it is not like one size fits for all. There's
Right.
different strategy for different games. Lovely. So, oh my God, like what all you're into, Dr. Coffee? You're gonna launch your online program, then online consultation, group programs, one-on-one, and series of books. I listened to that. That was underlined. Series of books for different sports. Wow,
Yes.
beautiful. Amazing. So this is what makes me happy, Dr. Coffey, to interview experts from different parts of the world so that people get to know about these experts. Hey guys, you are not alone. There is help available. Reach out. And the problem that you're fighting alone, don't do that. There are
Mhm.
specific, specialized, and highly qualified professionals available, and then there's nothing wrong in reaching out for help.
That's right.
And Dr. Coffey, one very straightforward question, like reaching out for professional help for mental training. Some people think that because this was asked directly to me, like if I'm going and reaching out to a professional um, for this mental health reasons or mental training, uh, is it weakness? Am I dependent? So what is your answer for that?
Yeah. I think if you have a mental health issue, to reach out for help is a sign of strength. It takes more strength to ask for help when you need it. So
Wow.
if you don't need help, it's easy. So to reach out and get help is a sign of strength. Now, it's also important to understand that there's a difference between mental skills training and mental health services. Mental skills training, that's teaching you techniques and giving you tools to enhance your performance and to elevate your game. In my opinion, every athlete need a mental game coach. But mental health, you know what that is. Those are your more serious issues that requires clinical help, more like clinical depression or bipolars or things of that nature. But still, if you have those issues, to reach out for help is a sign of strength, and you should do it sooner than later.
Wow. I like the way you flip the perspective that reaching out for help is itself strength,
Yes.
because it takes strength to seek help. And
Mhm.
Here, you're kind of combining mental health as well as mental training both at one place. That's the beauty of your mental game coaching process. So people are getting holistic help instead of just a part of it.
That's right.
Amazing, amazing. Right. Thank you very much, Dr. Coffey. You have answered almost all my questions very patiently, and I'm sure people who are watching this, guys, again and again, I'm telling you, you are not alone. If you want at least get started with the books like Building Confidence, Focus Like a Champion, so that you have tools that are
Mhm.
these books are not written out of just randomly. Even yesterday I was talking to someone else, Dr. Coffey. So there are certain books which are written randomly, refer 10 books and launch one book out of it. And here comes this books like Building Confidence, Focus Like a Champion, where professionals like you write out of your experience. So
Right.
that books make more difference in a person's life than reading some random book.
Mhm.
Good on. So I want to again, sorry about again coming back to your books again before closing the interview. Um, so Dr. Coffee, do you also provide some practical steps in building confidence book and focus like champion so that the person who is reading can implement such things? Are there implementable steps suggested in this book?
Absolutely. So in the book, you actually have 12 chapters. And
Wow.
in each chapter, you have a different activity or a different intervention to help you either focus or build your confidence. So it's not just reading, it's reading and applying. Because what I found out is when you're actually doing something, when you have a goal and you put an action behind it, the results are higher. So that's kind of how I wrote the book. I wrote the book providing you with information and then giving you interventions and strategies to actually implement to help you keep building your confidence or focusing like a champion.
Okay. So, guys, one more secret revealed from Dr. Coffee that the information is available across Google. Anyone can search for anything. And then after that, okay, now I understand importance of mindset. Now I understand of this and that. But what do I do? So
Right.
you have bridged the gap of what do I do. There is a practical approach as well, and the activities also help them to implement. Just not information providing book, but it is a practical handy book in building confidence and focus. That is
Exactly.
amazing.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Thank you, Dr. Coffey. It was wonderful, and so many questions at personal level also I got clarified. It is not only for the audience and also at personal level. It gave me a new perspective, and when I come across certain frequent questions, I got new ways to help people to understand how it is a strength to seek out for help. It's not a weakness. It's not a sign of weakness. And the beautiful work you are doing, and all the best for your D Coffee Foundation for Athletics and Education.
Thank you.
Amazing job you are doing, and please write more and more books so that it reaches out different category of audience altogether. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for having me.